at the moment a lot of padel and tennis, and then also good wines. Those are a big thing in life. Studied myself also in Vierumäki for a long time, different kind of degrees from there. Traveled around the world around hockey, first as a very mediocre goalie actually, and then after that then around coaching also a little bit for Finnish junior national teams, and then also in Switzerland. I was in the NLA for a couple of years. But about maybe the basic coaching philosophy question, what I've had to ask myself since my beginning of studies now, was it now 14 years ago, that are the players there for the coach, or is the coach there for the players? And in my case, it's 100% the coach is there for the players. Our job as coaches is to help them to get better and them to get there, to get to their own dreams. And that's pretty much what we're trying to do at the moment now in Lahti, where I'm now the head coach for the men's professional team in the Finnish Liga, Pelicans, and my second year now over here with the men's team. I was here before I started my journey around national teams and Switzerland. I was here for 6 years on the junior side, and now then this one, and it has been an interesting journey until now. First of all, I wanna open up quickly a little bit background about that philosophy, what we believe in here, and this is the reason from Dr. Stephen Norris actually that I'm talking about this one. He was in Vierumäki when I was a big student starting my studies in Vierumäki, and he was talking about Kaizen philosophy of continuous improvement, and Dr. Stephen Norris was talking about sandcastles, and it was a very nice way of showing what it means to continuously improve. And he was talking about sandcastles on the beach and how you can build a sandcastle, but the longer you go on that beach, there's always a better sandcastle and a better sandcastle. And it was a nice way of somehow drawing that kind of picture into the head of also myself as a student. And I started to believe in this thing and started to study into it. And I firmly believe these days into continuous improvement. Like in life, in sports in general, we always have to develop. Another like big picture background thought, what we believe in here is top versus good. And this was Susanna Rahkamo. She's a doctor these days, a former ice skater, was representing Finland in the Olympics and World Championships and European Championships also in the 90s and 80s. And she made her doctoral thesis about top performers in sports and why somebody has success and why somebody hasn't. And she was saying that the opposite of top is not bad. The opposite of top is good. It's pretty easy to do good stuff for almost everybody in sports, but it's not that easy to do top stuff and to make top choices versus good choices. And top teams are doing stuff differently than good teams. And this was a very nice way for me also to somehow draw a picture into my own head. Okay, this is what I believe that we should be doing. That you have to try to get towards that top and not just good. And then that's a philosophy that we have been trying now to implement also here in Latvia. On the left side here is our three big content things that we have tried to bring into our team environment on everyday basis. And first of all, is we always talk about continuous development all the time to all our players. In everything what we do, we talk about development. We don't talk about results too much. We talk about development, even though we're on the professional sports side. And of course, we should be able to win, and that's what we all try to achieve. But we don't talk about results. We talk about development. We firmly believe in the power of us, in the power of working together. The energy of working together is so much bigger. The achievements and the feelings, that thrill of achieving something together is much bigger than when you try to achieve it by yourself. And then we have this kind of thought of a winning formula, which consists of three big things: it's team spirit, the game, how we play, the tactical side, and then daily work. And if those three big things can be achieved as a team, I think we have a chance of achieving also success. Then the third big thing here, like as a big picture, is still the culture thing, thought. And in the book Culture Code, the first sentence of that book is actually this one, that the word culture comes from the Latin word cultus, and it means caring. And that's pretty nice sentence to think about, that, okay, if we want to build some kind of culture, if we want to nurture a culture, it means caring. And it's not just what you say, it's actually what you do. And this is like that background idea of what we have in our team environment, what we're trying to build here, and what we actually talk also every day about. Then, of course, in order that it would not be just some kind of philosophies, we have to have also some kind of actions for it, and we have to find ways to show it to our players that this is what we do here. And it can be actually segmented into three big things. The first one is a bigger background thought again. The second one is actually that work that we as coaches do, and the third one is then our athletes inside our team. And I try to very quickly go through these ones. It would be a long discussion to open these ones a little bit more thoroughly, but I think this gives also already some kind of picture of what we believe in. First of all, intrinsic motivation. Like, from where comes that fuel for our athletes to be able to make every day those choices that we believe that goes towards that top level and not that good level? Where comes that fuel from, that they can every day put everything into practicing and developing themselves as athletes, but also as human beings? And that fuel comes from three big things: feeling of autonomy, feeling of competence, and feeling of relatedness. Like, this is a very normal psychological theory, which is probably the most justified and empirically studied, from Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, that they have that self-determination theory. So every human being needs these three things. If he feels that he can somehow decide by himself about his own life, he feels happy. If he feels that what he's doing, that he's good in it, he feels happy. And if he feels that it somehow relates to something bigger, that he belongs to something bigger, he feels happy. And if a human being feels happy, usually the human being feels motivated to do it. So for us, what this means, that these three things we have to be able to somehow touch every day with our athletes. We have to get them to feel that they have some kind of autonomy about what they're doing. We have to get them to feel that they are good at it, what they're doing. Well, maybe top at it, but at least going towards the top. And then on the third side, that they have to feel that they belong to something bigger. And if this is the base for all the processes that we lead with our athletes in our team environment, we don't have to motivate our athletes anymore. They are so motivated to develop themselves that they will search for answers. They will question us. They will not be always on the same page. Actually, they will ask us that, is that so? That I don't maybe believe so, and we will be on a completely different level in our interaction than just so that we would tell them, okay, you got to do this and you got to do this. So this is that fuel that pumps them to work every day harder than anybody else. And we believe that this is the base for everything. This is the background base for everything. Well, then, coaching 1.01, somebody would say that the easiest and most basic idea of coaching a team, an athlete, anybody in life, means planning. And we believe firmly in very thoroughly planning everything, because that's the key which gives us the possibility to live in the moment. If we plan everything well, we don't have to think about our actions during that everyday basis. We can really live and feel what is happening around us. We don't have to use energy for think that what should we do today. And everything in our team environment bases on the principle planning, executing, and evaluating everything. And of course, the big thing is that we have to be able to also teach this to our players. that they would learn how to coach themselves, to plan, to execute, and to evaluate. But for us, the whole season, in this case, this long-term project that we have here in Lahti now, since I've been the head coach here, we're talking about 4 years now. The whole project has to be planned well, then executed, and then evaluated. But for us as a team, 1 season, inside the season, 1 month, inside the month, 1 week, inside the week, 1 practice or 1 day, everything has to be planned well. And usually we do that planning so that we are living 2-3 months ahead. So we plan everything 2-3 months ahead. So then we don't have to think about it then when that day is. And actually we then do exactly what we plan. The plan has been a progressive plan. We believe that it leads to the fact that we have to be at our best in April. In hockey, of course, the playoffs are in March or April. So our team has to walk towards those playoffs that we would be able then to somehow get out the best possible game what we can play when it really matters also. But everything is planned, and this gives the possibility for our staff then to really live in the moment when that execution moment is, a particular practice day or a game day or whatever, that we can really go to near to our athletes and be with them and live with them and sense some kind of problems or good feelings what they have. And we don't have to focus on what we are doing today. So that is very important for us, that we believe that good planning gives you the possibility to have a clear mind on the execution today. Of course, when we think of development, documentation is a very big part of it. We have to be able to use that documentation in our evaluation process also. Everything has to be also evaluated, that if we achieve something, we have to know why we achieved it. If we fail in something, we have to know why we failed in it. And if we don't document everything what we do, it's very hard to remember anymore. So we really use a lot of documentation, and every day's work, every day's execution of our plans, they are all documented by all coaches and our staff, so that when the season is over or when a period is over in our plan, we can then use it then also for the evaluation and then go back to the planning process, how to do it better. This is quickly opened up our seasonal plan with our team for this year. It actually misses here in this plan, it misses a 4th big segment, which is the development plan for our staff also, because it is a big part also that our staff contains of 9 people. We have 6 coaches, 2 equipment managers, and one physiotherapist also. So we also have to develop during the season. So we have also a plan for that one, but it's not segmented into this one. But this is the plan for our season this year. There's the plan for the game, 5-on-5 game, special teams, face-offs, how it goes for the whole season. It's segmented into weeks, and then of course also we have to have some kind of measurable criteria, how we measure it. So then we can again evaluate how we have made it. We have a big plan for our group dynamics side, how it goes during the season, and then we have individual development plan for every player. What we have, it says now 30 there. At the moment, it's 32 players that we have here in our system, and every player has to have his own development plan. So roughly, we could say that we have going in this team development side around 35 or 36 development processes during 1 year, and of course we have to know always that they go somehow like this during the year, but we have to know all the time where that process is going, so we can somehow try to adjust it if we see that process is not working like we think of. And this is then that execution of that plan, very, very easily or very like simplified now. And again, for the game side, 5-on-5 special team face-offs, who's responsible for what, how the process goes, how we implement that plan in our everyday basis. This is also opened up for our staff very, very openly, and also to our players very openly, that they know that this is what happens here, that it's not so that they just come to the rink and do their job because they're getting paid for it and then they go home. No, we want them to learn and actually be able at some point in their careers, maybe when they're a little bit older, maybe do it better than we have done it. Because if they get some kind of spark of, we want to also, when we stop playing, help other players to get better, maybe they will start coaching at some point. So we hope that they learn this process also. But again, we have this plan for the whole season, and then we have the execution side, and this is how we execute it. When the season is over, it's easy for us then to also evaluate what has happened. I think this, well, I use in this slide a picture of a former player who actually has been also playing in North America in the American League for a while. He had an NHL contract, did not make it quite to the NHL, but plays now back in Finland and has been very successful in his career. He has won the Junior World Championships in Helsinki in 2016. He has won the Finnish Championship 3 times already now, and he's a junior player from Lahti originally. And then I had the honor of coaching him from the years 14 to 18. And then very interesting guy, Sebastian Repo, and I have his permission to use him, like his pictures as the idea of that the path is the one that matters when we think of development. It does not matter what the result is. The results will always come if the path is good. If we just focus on getting better every day, usually also the results will come. And if we want to help the player to achieve his own maximum, then we can't let results define what we do on everyday basis. We have to believe into some kind of progression, and we have to believe into developmental steps, and then the result will come. And again, then it starts again. Like, even though if he has won a Finnish championship, he knows that again he has to get better. Next day is again a day that he can develop himself as an athlete, as a human being, as a hockey player, and just focus on the journey. That's the thing. Well, then, as a third point, what I want to open up is then us coaches and us as leaders, also as secretaries of our athletes. I was talking about those 30 individual development plans inside the team, that it is important that we have a process also for every player. We as coaches have to make it possible for them to lead their own developmental process. That's also a question of that autonomy that I was talking, that they have some kind of feeling that they are deciding themselves also where they are going, what they want to develop in themselves. And this is a graph or a picture of how I've tried to draw it. That on the right side there's that team process of one season. That usually one team it's only one season that the same team is there. There's always some kind of players that change from one year to another, and one team travels always from step one until the end of the season. And it combines of course group dynamics, it combines of game, it combines of daily work, and the team tries to achieve the maximum of that one team during one season. And then on the left side is that individual player, how he could develop himself. We believe that an individual player consists of 4 big areas in himself. Is that it's his mental attributes, it's his tactical knowledge, it's his technical knowledge, and physical attributes. And he can develop all those 4 aspects on everyday basis. And that's how it also should be, that he should be developing all 4 big aspects, and that's how he gets better as a player. And during that one season, he should be able to take 3 or 4 of these kind of developmental cycles, which are from 6 to 10 weeks, that we can really see some kind of progression in his development. It might be only that one of those 4 goes one step up, or maybe none of them goes up, but it demands, of course, from him a lot of motivation to start to develop those ones. But this is that philosophy of training, and this is how it looks like then, that we have the coach is a leader for this team process, that he has to be able to set boundaries and to set the tone for how this team will develop during this year. Again, there is the group dynamic side, there is the game side, and then there's that individual development process, and that individual process there is on that left side, where you can see that those 20 to 30 processes are going as their own. And this makes it possible that every individual player develops during the year, that he feels that he's taken care of, that we are here for him. And then on the other hand, the team also develops as its own big entity, that it has its possibility to reach that maximum, what that team can maybe achieve during one season. I know it's a pretty fast way of trying to show what we believe in, but in the end, it's not that hard. You as a coach, or you guys as coaches or leaders, have to be able to, first of all, of course, get it into your own head, what you believe in. And then when you know what you believe in, you have to find the way how to bring it out and how to show it to those ones who are willing to participate into the way that you are doing. And then when you get them to do it, then you can take steps back and let the players shine. I think that's the big thing also in team development, that when you get people to work together, you should always give the credit also to those ones who are doing that. And in our case, I think the athletes and the players are always the most important ones, because they are the ones who are playing. They are the ones who are showing themselves also to the crowds and to the world that this is how good I am in this sport. And we as coaches should take one step at a time towards the background. The best coaches make themselves in a way out of a job, because when the player learns how to coach himself, I think we have achieved our goal. Then there's no roof anymore for the player development, and also no roof anymore for team development. 23 minutes for the whole set, and I'm always happy to answer questions if there's anybody who wants to ask more. But this is the way how we do it.
Yeah. Well, Tommi, thank you a lot for your awesome presentation, and best of luck coming forward with the rest of the season and moving into the Christmas holiday. Enjoy the holidays, and of course we'll be in touch, and we'll forward any questions your way.
Thank you very much, and enjoy the seminar.
Thank you.